Okay guys, so today we have new spoken Lithuanian lesson, and today we're going to talk about the difference between Nes and Todėl, because commonly I see this translated as because, and some people are confused, like how can we have two different words for that, and what is that, and what do we do with that? So let's quickly talk. I'll try to make it as short as possible because, you know, we can expand with a lot of examples and so forth, but I want to make it as fast as possible. So the rule of thumb, right? First rule to remember is, if you want to do it like this, Nes, right? Nes points to a reason. Nes points to a reason. What that means, for example, I could say aš pavargau, nes nemiegojau. That means I got tired because I didn't sleep, right? That's a direct translation for Nes into because if we only have Todėl, we're not necessarily always translating it to because, and mostly even not, because we have a different way to translate it. So Nes points to reason. Aš pavargau nes miegojau. I have a reason after Nes because I didn't sleep. The not sleeping is the reason for me being tired. Now, if we go for Todėl, just simply Todėl, without anything added to it. Todėl points to a consequence. It points to a consequence. So if we look at example sentence, we can switch this one up and can say nemiegojau, todėl pavargau. That means I didn't sleep, and I wouldn't translate it because. I would translate this one into like that is why. That is why I got tired, right? So Todėl points, if it's alone, points to a consequence, right? Not a reason. Therefore, I can't really translate it into because. But what people often confuse, right, is the phrase Todėl, and then I add kad, Todėl kad. And this one points to a reason rather than pointing to a consequence, but it's more deliberate. It's more like specific. And I would think like the best rule of thumb, right, that I found is if you think of this as not because, but you think of it like the reason why is that. And then you continue, right? The reason why is that if you can go with this one in English language, probably you want to go better with Todėl kad instead of Nes. But it still points to a reason. So let me give you an example. Let's say a sentence like aš tai darau, right? Todėl, aš tai darau todėl kad noriu. Aš tai darau todėl kad noriu. That means I do it because I want to. And that's why sometimes people confuse Todėl with because we have that kad after it, right? It sort of becomes like a separate phrase if we combine these two together, right? So is it okay to use Nes over here? And for example, say aš tai darau nes to noriu, then we phrase it differently, or just remove kad and just say nes noriu, aš tai darau nes noriu. Of course you can, right? But it's more common to have Todėl kad because it's sort of like a deliberate actual reason for something, for doing something, and the reason why is that I want it. If you can put this in English language and make sense, you would want to probably move with Todėl kad instead of Nes. But just between the two, between Nes and Todėl, one points to reason, one points to a consequence, right? And if we switch this up, the reason, the meaning of the sentence stays the same, but we can use Nes or Todėl, okay? So this is the way we do it. I hope it was interesting and useful. I hope this clears this up, right? And now you can start using it freely and not be afraid of these two, right? Okay, so I'll see you in the next lesson. See you guys. Bye.